am teaching you about the TCM physiology. Further, I will teach you about the points as well, and I will try to tell you which point works on the which particular part of the heart to be regulated. This will be quite interesting. So, TCM function of the heart. The heart is the monarch or the ruler of all the internal organs, especially the in organ. Right? How does it happen? We all know. So already you have studied the physiology of the Western medicine, but now you can see, as per the TCM, heart is the king and the ruler of the organs. Then you understand. We all know the aorta is a circulatory system. That means it's a systemic circulation to be taken place from the top to bottom. The entire system of the body is regulated. Even the carotid artery is supplied to the brain. So with the support of the cardiac system, right? Subclavian artery, right clavian artery, and the common clavian arteries, and all the arteries on the renal arteries, which supplies to the renal system, abdominal, descending aorta. So in the similar way, it's supposed till the toes. Till the toes, the energy is moving from the cardiac system. Therefore, it is very crucial. So that's the reason even the TCM also says the heart is the king of all the organs, that especially the Zhang organs, which we call as the liver, and then kidneys and the lungs and the spleen. Right? Then heart is the monarch and governs the mind. So what exactly here resembles is the mind is kind of the spirit. So spirit we call in the Chinese is the Shen. Shen is a spiritual way also, we can understand the social and the spiritual as well. So because of all our negative emotions, our thought process and joyness, under-joyness, over-joyness, over-excitement. So all these things are regulated by the cardiac system, especially the heart. Heart is governing to all the emotions. When the person is pleasantable feeling, the tissues and organs also feeling of the pleasant, and also it releases the dopamine, which is essential for the happy hormone. So it is the over-excitement of the happiness that also leads to the illness, that leads to the cardiac system. That over-joyness or pleasantable, sometimes it gets the constructed of the cardiac system, which leads to the cardiac problem as well. तो कितनी खुशी होना है, ज़रूर होना चाहिए, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा खुश हो जावे कि फिर आपको जिसके माध्यम से हार्ट का भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाए, ऐसा भी ना हो. That's the reason. ऐसा नहीं कि आप इतनी खुशी होती है तो इतना हंसते हो, इतना आप laughing is, yeah, it's good momentarily and timely. It's continuously laughing, loudly. So this also not good to our health, but momentarily for few seconds and minutes, it's all right. So heart is the monarch of the in and the 6 yang organs and is the residence of the mind as well. So since because of the heart is the coupled organ of which married organ? Heart is wife. Who is the husband of the heart? Good. So small intestine is governing to all the yang organs in our body. So let's see for during that intestine, and it is the residence of the mind as well. It controls all the blood vessels in our body. Remember, this is the key point I am telling you. So wherever there is the chi stagnation, blood stagnation is there, even that condition, to regulate the blood flow inside the blood vessels, what is required? The cardiac conductivity should be work normally. So if this get disturbances, certainly the blood vessels anywhere in the body, that causes the problem. There is a stagnation of the blood. So there is a stagnation, then you understand what kind of the pain the people are suffering. Then all are related to the stagnation of the blood, where the blood is not moving, precisely on the vessels, which causing the problem. So therefore you understand, due to that reason, there is a point in the pulmonary system which we call as a Thai yuan, that LU9 is the influential point for the blood vessels. Anywhere there is a blood vessel disorders, the point to be activated, that point to be called as a LU9. So that's the reason, even thousands of years ago, Chinese made that the lungs getting the purification of the oxygenated, deoxygenated blood get converted in the lung system. So lungs is supporting to the pulmonary, vein to the left atrium, to support the cardiac system. So therefore LU9 also is a crucial point for any kind of the blood vessels related disorders, which the point is located here. This point to be used as a for any kind of the stagnation or retention or obstruction or blockages in the vessels. Any vessels you just take it, any vessels it denotes as an artery. Any arteries gets blockages, then you need to activate one point, that point to be called as a LU9. Of course, I will talk about the heart points also. So which points is most important to regulate the vessels as well, along with the Yuan point. So it manifests in the complexion. What kind of the complexion? The facial complexion, lips complexion, eyes complexion, hands complexion, body's complexion, the vigor and vitality. What is existing within you. Are you looking is very dull, then you understand your complex is poor, where the cardiac system is very poor. So now you understand the face is the index of the mind, we all know. So by looking the face itself, we can identify your thought process, your emotion process, your way of intellectuality, your way of thinking, and your way of functioning of your body. We can able to recognize. So that identification to be taken place by looking the face itself. Any emotions that reflect to the face, and any weakness that gets the complexion is the pale and lustrous. So very exhausted and restlessness causes. When you are abundantly, the blood vessels is passing in the circulatory system. When all the circulation is good, then of course your face also it looks more charishma, and also it looks like a red, lustrous, and it is rosy as well. So when you feel that by looking, बोलते हैं ना एक नूर है चेहरे पे, वो नूर कहाँ पे होता है, लेकिन चेहरे में नूर होना चाहिए. कैसा आदमी? लेकिन जब दिल में आपको सुकून हो, दिल में सर्कुलेशन बराबर हो, आपकी सोच सही हो, आपका दिमाग ठीक हो, आपके खान पान ठीक हो, जब कार्डियक सिस्टम भी ठीक रहता है. Physical exercise also really it is essential in order to move the chi and blood in our body. जब खाते हैं लोग सो जाते हैं, बस खाते हैं, कुछ काम नहीं करते, सेडेंटरी लाइफ है, बैठ के हमेशा काम करते हैं, तो फिर अगर सन रेज नहीं लेते आप, लेकिन एक वॉल के अंदर आपने बैठ गए हैं, ऐसे सिचुएशन में आपको सर्कुलेशन कभी कभी रिटेंशन स्टैग्नेशन होने के चांसेस होते हैं. तो आपके लिए कॉम्प्लेक्स होना चाहिए. तो फिर आपका एक थोड़ा सा फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, however it is a more relaxation, not only in terms of sleep but in terms of physical exercise, which is most essential to regulate and flatter and scatter our chi across the body. So therefore complex भी कहाँ होता है? हार्ट तो दिल में है. हार्ट कहाँ है? thoracic cavity में है, लेकिन face is on the upper part of the body. So how that will reflect on the face? Because of when there is a heart system is good, that of course it looks more charishma on the, not only on the face, on your fingers and the top to foot, and it regulates the entire system of the body. When this gets the stagnation, somewhere it is a stagnation that reflects on the stomach meridian, that reflects on the gallbladder meridian, that reflects on the intestinal meridians, So whatever meridians are reaching to the facial region, all those meridians get weakness. So due to that, and you don't feel much charishma. You wanted to get the charishma on the face and also to the cardiac system. Maybe small sprinkle of the water, washing our face itself, it is opening point of all the points on the facial region to get the glow, to get the rosy, to get the lustrous. Of course, at the same time, we need to treat by activating to the cardiac system as well. And also it is the house as the mind that we call as a Shen. Shen means is kind of the spirit. What kind of the spirit? So I think how many people are here? Few of them is absent. Maybe what it indicates, that means there are not much enthusiasm, there are not much spirit is there. No, I wanted to sit and I wanted to learn something, I wanted to gain some kind of the knowledge. So this is required within you. At the same time, I also came with the protocols. I wanted to nourish all of you. I wanted to give you something which is the extraordinary knowledge which is existing within me. I wanted to execute and explore to you that in order to understand, and we need to accept that. So that level I came. you also with that interest, that is called as a spirit, that is called as a shen, that is called as an enthusiasm, that is called as an activeness, that is called as a chi, that is called as a blood. So these kind of the essential, so that all these things are with the positive attitude and positive emotion and a positive reflection and a positive focus. All these things you also came and I also came with that intention in order to nourish all of you. So that's called as a shen. So if that shen is weak, then you understand your heart system is not so good. That means your mind is not supporting you to think and do it. Your mind is not, your heart is not supporting that. Yes, let's see क्या उसमें सीखेंगे. तो इसमें बुक्स में मिल जाता है और कुछ पता नहीं कुछ पॉइंट्स तो ऐप्स में मिल जाते हैं, तो लोकेशन भी मिल जाता है. इसमें क्या सीखेंगे इससे ज्यादा. So if the people will think negligences, then you cannot get it. So because of in something, in one app you will get something, in one teacher you will get many things. So therefore, so with that intention, that means with that spirit you are coming. So that spirit not only in terms of studying, in terms of each and every object, each and every work and activity within you from the morning, once you get up from the bed to till go to the bed, what is your agenda, what is your motto, what is your schedule. So this to be continuously functioning in our body based on the credentials of your, shen, based on your spirit. So when you just to-do list, when we don't do the to-do list, we can't do anything. So remember, maybe see today you have the plan to do the 5 things which you need to do, or 10 different types of the work you need to do. When you don't do the to-do list, that means write down in one paper of the chip. So what is your schedule? So that schedule is giving you kind of the spirit to do the activities. When you doesn't have that, that means the heart is somewhere is deficiency, where it's not supporting you to do that. So therefore the heart is supporting in 2 ways as per the TCM. It works as a circulatory system and also it works as a mind system as well. Mental activities, all the positive and negative emotions, right? So what are the negative emotions? What are the positive emotions? So mental activity, what are the negative? Yes, of course, is the sadness, worries, pensiveness, anger, tedious. So these and all is fear, frightening, terror, all are connected to the negative emotions. Right, consciousness, opposite to that. I am very conscious to teach you. You are very conscious to learn yourself. So in that way, that consciousness to be taken place by the cardiac system. Right? You have the good memory, then that indicates you have your cardiac system is really good. When you have the poor memory, then it is, of course, it is the mind and the central nervous system is supporting to the memory, and limbic system. So when this will not support the cardiac system, then slowly you lose the short-term memory, you lose the long-term memory, right? So for that, what is required? अरे मुझे याद करना ही है इसको. When you understand, I wanted to learn something, I wanted to focus this, you will focus. Let's see. आज नहीं तो कल करेंगे without any visualization. So you wanted to keep it in your mind. That memory cannot be sustained. जब तक आप लोग कुछ ना कुछ visualization नहीं कर लेते कोई चीज़ को याद करने के लिए, then certainly you cannot understand that and you cannot keep it in your mind forever. So always remember to get the focus and visualization and analysis in order to understand and keep it in your memory. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी देखो याद आ गया, तो कुछ भी देखो याद आ गया तो फिर उसी fraction of seconds you took to your mind in terms of focusing that in the different way. So कैसा भी आप मन में रख लेते हैं, लेकिन पता नहीं ऐसा देखा 5 मिनट आपने देखा ऐसा, लेकिन you are not, body is present and mind is absent, and that cannot take it to your mind, again you will forget the things. You understand? Of course, there is another physiology which we call as a sleep. जब नींद की कमी हो, then you understand heart is not supplying enough blood to the cardiac system and also to the brain system, so maybe the sleep get disturbances or the heart get enough heat within that, so that causing the sleeplessness, that causing the insomnia. अगर अच्छी नींद आ रही है, आपका CSF कूल है और वेंट्रिकल्स कूल हैं और ब्लड भी सप्लाई हो रहा है, नर्वस सिस्टम कंडक्शन पूरी तरह से अच्छी तरह से हो रहा है, then you feel abundantly good. Of course at the same time thinking ability, सोच अगर आपके पास, pensiveness, of course thinking is required, then the pensiveness is called as the deep thinking and continuously thinking, so that's not sound. The problem in this universe, today's situation, pandemic situation, every person there is some kind of, even in the normal lifestyle in this India or maybe across the globe, the people are suffering one or other issues with their families or societies or friends or the job or related to the business ventures. All these things are miserable life. But this pandemic, again it is extended for another 14 days. But how the people are living. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said long ago that nearly in India 33% of the poverty line is existing. But now you understand what kind of the poverty the people will be getting affected. So really sometimes feel pain here, but at the same time government is not doing a mistake, but one or other way, known or unknownly they are doing a mistake. That mistake called as the extension of the lockdown in the terms of thinking that safeguard the people. Of course in the 100 years once, and will get the problem like all this pandemic etc. So in that way the people will be affected, but not this larger level, not this sometimes the trend what we call as international games. So sometimes get the conspiracy which causing and leads to this problem and creating the phobia among the people and public. The person continuously thinks that certainly leads to the illness of the spleen and cardiac system. Remember this, whenever we have the problems, what is the solution for that? Think it, and then that should be drain out from your brain and the mind, so that you feel happy with the family members and friends and the job related places. So that thinking is good, but it goes the overthinking that leads to the illness, and at the same time it opens into the tongue. The another physiology what we call as opens into the tongue. So that means the cardiac system, the heart is the portal of the mouth, and then especially the tongue. How the lungs is the portal of the nose, and liver is the portal of the eyes, kidneys are the portal of the ears. So in this way the heart also is the opening into the tongue. So now what it means exactly, you look at the doctrine of signature says the tongue also same resemble of the cardiac system, the nose is the resemble of the pulmonary system, the ears are resemble of the renal system, right? The eyes are the resemble of the hepatic system, which we call as a liver system. So in this way, so everything the sense organ is related to, our lips are related to the spleen and pancreas. So in this way, due to that reason, a spleen is connected to the lips. So now anything, the tongue related issues, any tongue inflammation and stomatitis and a papillae getting the problem, or the taste buds are not functioning properly, we are not getting the proper taste. So all these things are connected to the which organ? Let me know which organ is affected. Good. No, heart system, right? The heart is affected to the tongue. So anything the tongue related disorders, the stammering or maybe the speech difficulties, or there is a problem due to the atrophy syndromes called as a paralysis or hemiplegia conditions, the speech gets affected. Even for that activation to be used, there is a one point in generally we call as a tungli. The tungli is H5, sorry. Then this point is good. At the same time, there are the certain areas which we call as maybe I'll teach you later. So what was the Broca's area and then Wernicke's area? Yes. Yes. from the tongue. The tongue is, of course, if there is a taste buds are not functioning, that indicates that affected our heart also. That means it's not mean is the heart is totally weak. That means the energy is weak in the heart, which is reflecting the problem on the tongue. And also there is the abdominal organs get excessive heat, that also reflect on the tongue. Because of spleen also connected to the mouth, and the stomach is connected to the mouth, and then heart is connected to the mouth and tongue. So therefore these three organs and the small intestine, four organs together is responsible for anything related to the tongue related issues except the nervous system. Nervous system is a glossopharyngeal nerve and hypoglossal nerve. Both are the nerves are connecting to the tongue. So therefore anything related to this, certainly this is the reason to causing the problem. So therefore there is a H5. The point is good to treat for any kind of the tongue conditions. Remember that there are the 3 points I will tell you. 4 points in one line. So that is H4 Lingtao, and H6, H7, H4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 4 points are good to treat for most of the cardiac conditions, which tongue also it is included. There is a tongue problem. Use one more point which we call as a Liang Chuan. So that point is REN 23. REN 23, the point is located midway between the chin and then Adam's apple. So the point is located here. So this point is good to treat for the tongue related conditions 1, and then these points which we call as a 1, 2, 3, 4 points here on the anterior to the ulnaris tendon. Then last physiology which we call as it controls the sweat, right? It controls the sweat. So normally sweat to be taken place, we all know there is the sebaceous glands, it opens more and it's not blockages, and the sweat glands it opens, secretes the more sweat, so which causing the sweat on the skin surface. So therefore, so when the heart is functioning properly, especially the night sweat on the forehead or on the head, so that is totally related to the cardiac system. When the whole body, hands and then legs and foot is sweat, that is related to the lung pulmonary system. So however, the heart and lungs together is responsible for the any kind of the sweat in our body. If you regulate the cardiac system, so that is due to that reason that one point to control the sweating called as a that is in C, that is H6 point, and include the water metabolism to be taken place by activating another point which we call as a full yo. So that is in H6 and then case 7 together is good point to treat for the night sweating, which is totally communicating and relating to the cardiac system, right? So however, when you wanted to treat for the facial and also the palms and the sole of the foot, of course there is the calcium deficiency as well. When the calcium absorption is not taken place to the right place in our body, that slowly leads to that problem, which causing the perspiration, which we call as a medical is the diaphoresis, right? So sweating to be controlled by 2 organs plus one more organ. Can you name it? What are the organs can control the sweating? Come on, already I told you. Then yeah, please add up with the kidney, right? Please add up with the kidney, right? Yes, 3 organs. 3 organs.